American?
You are black.
Like, I'm really... I mean, but I look dark... Whatever. Anyways, welcome to Diablo 3 from a casual point of view, where we bring you your weekly dose of what's going on the world of Diablo, whether you like it or not, with my co-host Nathan. He is a casual player. I am a hardcore player. Not actual hardcore, but hardcore in the sense I play a lot of... Basically, I waste a lot of my life playing Diablo.
Yeah, you don't dress up, so I wouldn't really say you're a hardcore Diablo.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, if you, like... Actually, that might not be bad. You can get some Witch Doctor paint, get, like, the fake...
No.
It is Halloween. You could get the fake bone through your nose. That's what you should do on Halloween. You should dress up like a Witch Doctor.
That's what people say, man. Maybe
you should dress up like the female Witch Doctor.
No, I'm
you
not
can get you some fake boobs.
That's so
I can get you a
terrible.
bra, and we'll put some...
That is so terrible.
You can get some black balloons and shove them in there.
If I was going to be like the Witch Doctor, I would just be a male Witch Doctor.
But it'd be funnier. It's hilarious when men dress up as women for Halloween. I thought it was funny one year. I was like talking to Jared and Casey. He's like, we should go as Final Fantasy characters. Female Final Fantasy characters. You'll be Yuna, I'll be Riku.
That'd be so horrible.
Especially considering Casey was fat at the time. Or, I don't know, I haven't seen Casey in forever. But yeah, can you imagine him as
That
Yuna?
is so terrible.
I know, but that's what makes it awesome.
Anyways, so how'd your week in Diablo go? Anything new, different? Anything that you found? Anything you're proud of to see?
I hit a Rainbow Goblin.
Okay.
And then my computer crashed.
So you hit the Rainbow Goblin.
I cleared it out, the Rift. It's not called Whimsyshire. It's called Whimsydale. So I'm wondering if, like, the Rift is Whimsydale and the actual Whimsyshire is different. Well, you know how, like, it'll get, like, oh, your computer needs to do an update. Postpone or restart now. I hit postpone, and then I'm, like, playing, and all of a sudden, my computer just literally just takes a shit. And then it restarts, and it's installing updates, so I'm like, whatever. So I didn't actually play as much. Like, I went and I was doing bounties, and I did one, and I'm, like, halfway through the other, and then my computer takes a shit on me, so I'm like...
So did it happen twice in a row, or
just once?
Okay.
The computer, like, tried to do the update, but it's like, okay, that was weird. I hope I don't have a virus.
Huh.
Because it lagged yesterday, like...
Well, the thing I've been noticing that it was been lagging a little bit for me on Diablo this week. Not too much, and then I have noticed, like, I get real bad frame drops when certain classes cast certain things in game. I don't know, because I know you haven't done that much ever since Riptor 4 pretty much died, but, like, when you jump inside of parties, like, for some reason, if you're in a party with a Crusader that has Fate of the Fel or Fel of Fate or whatever the fuck it's called, where it's lets them spam their, like, little beam from heaven and it does 3 of them instead of 1, that lags out my game a lot. What else? The Witch Doctor pets, they made them kind of transparent when you're in a group, so you don't see them all the way, like it's not rendering them all the way.
Oh, yeah?
I think that's what they did, so it doesn't show so much in the graphics and shit like that, but...
Well, also, I mean... They don't get in the way. You can see the monster instead of...
Like, I was running, and I was being funny, I was running a 38 pet build, which is stupid.
How do you get 38 pets?
You get 15 from the Gibden, you get 8 from the Zunimasa with the 3-piece, and you also get 6 from the dogs, and then, 38 fetishes. 15 fetishes, because you can get 23 on your own, and then you get another 15 from the Gibbon, and that puts up to 38, and then if you add the Gargantuan, that's 39, and then if you add 6 dogs, it comes up to 44 pets on screen. And then if you get stuff that procs, like the extra mimics or the horrors or whatever, that's more... You can get up to like 60-something creatures on screen. It's pretty stupid, which maybe is the reason why my frame drops are so bad, but...
Yeah, probably.
One thing I hope they would do in Diablo is have an effect, like a thing that you click and it just nullifies all the effects. I think that would be pretty cool. And maybe mid-effect or something, or maybe you can, it's very select on certain, effects. So you could, because certain things you need to see, like, you want to see if somebody, if a Witch Doctor puts piranhas on the floor, you want to know where that goes.
Right.
You don't need to see him raining thousands of toads upon everything. When he's like going like this, maybe occasional couple trickles of toads would be fine.
Yeah, I was about to say, maybe if, instead of having 30 fetishes, there can be 10, and they just have the effect of 30. Do you really need 30 on the screen? I mean, it would just say fetish, and then there's a number next to it.
I think so. So things like that, the quality of life that they could definitely do with that. Other little small qualities of life I think they should have is maybe for certain Pacific legendaries that are really rare, like the one that you're looking for that makes it so that your shield shield spamming doesn't cost as much or cost nothing. Maybe they could do something along the lines of putting it in the game in terms of crafting, where you get to craft this item. It's not as good as the actual version of it, but it provides you just enough give where you can actually start. Oh, okay, I can start using it. You know, I don't know. They need to do something.
Yeah, that would be good. If I have not found a crafting recipe in like 6 months.
Well, it means pretty much you got all the recipes.
No,
there.
but I don't. You have like 10 times the amount of special things I can find. So look at weapons. Look at the rares I have. That's nothing compared to my... You've got like 10 times. Like they stopped putting them out. I don't know why. Like they went, wow, people are actually just crafting the best stuff whenever they can.
Well, I guess that makes sense, and that puts it to a point where I guess I can kind of see that. I can kind of see
It's annoying because like I can't get the stuff I want. I've got, what, 2 greens? 2 greens.
I don't really think there's many green weapons, but I could be wrong. But I'm on my mind. I remember my weapons did having a lot of
Yeah, you have a
shitload.
shitload.
But yeah, then again, I do play a lot, though, as well, too.
Yeah, but I haven't gotten one. Before, you would get them over, you know, a weapon or an armor. Now I don't get them at all. So I think they took them out and didn't tell anybody.
That could be a possibility. On a side note, the highest greater rift for solo, guess what number it is? Guess what level? If you had to estimate for solo.
46.
Higher than that.
Wow.
Guess what class it is?
It's Demon Hunter.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's Demon Hunter.
What else would it be? No, it's Barbarian.
49, and there's a video of it out. And basically, I guess when Demon Hunters, you know how everybody was just running the Sentry build, and then people start tweaking the Sentry build and seeing what you can add into it. But they got it to a point, if I'm not incorrect, where they have it where they can use like lightning. And there's a lightning rune or something. I don't know the exact thing. I gotta look it up, but it's a setup for the original Sentry build that not only allows the Sentries to do their damage, but
they do lightning
they
damage?
stun. So when you got high-end damage you can stun, what do you think happens when you get in a rift full of monsters? They just sit there and they just take it. And the thing
so they stun, they don't move, they just get ripped into.
He still has to spam a lot of keys to get a good rift. Because if your rift doesn't have a lot of mob density, you're not going to beat it. And the kind of mob density, I know you've probably seen the Miracle Rift where it's just ridiculous, easy Act 1 mobs. He still has to do that. But he still had time left over at the end where you can be like, damn, he probably could do this on level 50, 51.
So why'd he stop? He just hasn't moved forward yet?
I guess he's trying to get those attempts, but to get keys that are 50 or 51 are real hard, because even in a group, when you ramp up on the trial rifts, it's really hard to get a key that's 50. He can't just make 150 keys. He can make 49 keys in the group, because that's how people make groups. Like if I'm playing solo and I want to try Greater Rift 40 over and over again, you know and I know, the trial rift, to get the 40 by yourself, whatever rift number you get, it subtracts it by 4. So it means you'd have to get the wave 44 or level 44 of a wave.
Mm-hmm.
So it's better to do it in a group, because the group, you can have the monk that pulls everything in, AoE it down, and then just spike up your damage, and you can get to a group key that's like 49, right? And then you could use that key for solo. You don't have to use that key with the group. And that's the thing I hope they change in the future. If you're in a group and you do the Greater Rift Trial, should be a group Greater Rift Trial keystone.
Yeah.
Because that's what people do. They get into parties, like I said before, they get about 100 level 40 keys, and then, so he got some keys and he just kept spamming, and he was actually able to beat it, which was pretty interesting. I'm not going to say that they need nerfs or anything. Blizzard said they're already looking into it, but that's kind of crazy. 49. Like 49, and no conduit pylon either.
Also, keep in mind, these are the new strength class characters. Because they don't do dodge anymore.
They do dex as armor, and that is pretty nuts. And we were kind of talking about this, how like we were saying, you remember we were talking about this when it was on PTR? We said, this might actually make them too powerful. And the funny thing is now, the Demon Hunter, a squishy class that was never meant to be that tanky, is now getting away with murder.
He's tanky as hell.
Yeah. And there's not much we could do about it. It's a part of the game. And I know they're going to deal with it eventually. They're going to have to deal with it eventually. They're going to have to.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that it's, such a bad thing. I mean, Diablo's on the way out. We all know that. It's not really gaining momentum. It's dropping.
You know what? And I've noticed that. Speaking of that, we came from when the patch 2.1 came out about 15 to 20,000 first week. Then it dropped down to 14. Then after another week or two, it dropped down to about 9K. Then it dropped all the way down to like 6, 5. And the other day I was looking, we're only at like 1,400. And Path of Exile was at 2,500, 3,000. So as I tell people, it's like when Blizzard doesn't fix stuff like this, I said that people say, oh, you can't gauge how popular a game is just by how many views. I'm like, a lot of people, anybody who games a lot uses Twitch in which you stream. You can kind of measure a game's popularity by what's on Twitch.
I mean, you could measure a game's popularity on Twitch through Twitch, obviously. I mean, if you look at Mega Man 9 versus fucking Mega Man Soccer, I'm pretty sure Mega Man 9 is more popular than Mega Man Soccer. Individually, people that play by themselves, though, yeah, you can't measure that, but that's not the measuring tool.
Right.
So, but I mean, Diablo's on the way out, unfortunately. There's really not much.
Not until the next expansion or until the next season, really.
The next expansion will breathe some life into it, but you're never going to keep getting back to launch.
Exactly.
So
not like other games like WoW or League of Legends or Dota.
Well, because those are constantly evolving things.
Yeah.
They're not the same thing. And plus, MMOs deal with the addiction part of your brain.
Right.
So
that's just how it goes, I guess.
It's unfortunate, but
Well, I mean, I guess we just got to wait and see what's going to go on. I know the barbarians that cheated their way to high level, they're still there. They haven't cleared them off. I think Blizzard's just going to deal with everything at the end of the season. They've gone really silent, a bunch of little things like that. One thing they did get, though, is they did release the patch 2.1 out for the consoles. The consoles actually do have legendary gems and stuff like that now.
Oh, they did do that, even though they said they weren't.
No, but see, here's the thing. They did it for Xbox One, I think it's called. Yeah, Xbox One. And PlayStation 4.
Oh, yeah, they
Xbox
don't do it for the
360,
3.
660, no, they didn't get the patch. So, I mean, that sucks. But, I mean, for the most part, I don't want to say I guess I understand, but like I always say, it is what it is, man. There's not much you can do about it. It's good for the console players. I think they deserve 2.1. I wish it would have known for all platforms, but some consoles is better than no consoles.
Yeah.
And a lot of them have been enjoying that, so now it's pretty funny. They'll be like, hey, Debo, need some guides on some gyms. Got some gyms. I don't know what to do with these gyms. I'm like, okay, first of all, stop saying gyms so much. He's like, gyms. And that's pretty interesting. But he says he's glad that there isn't. One person said, I'm glad there isn't a leaderboard because, like, he said, I get in the games with people who are Paragon like level 3,000 and the gyms are maxed out to 1,000 and you just basically fart and everything dies on screen. And he's like, why do you even play the game? But they said they do have a pretty good active community of players who play legit, which is pretty cool.
That's good.
Basically, you just play with people you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to extend the life of the console one for a little bit. I think that's really good for the console. It's because, I mean, think about it. When you look at Diablo, it has a lot of good content inside there. In terms of, like, for the money you pay for the game, it's a fantastic game.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But when you start looking towards the balancing in the long term, it's just kind of like coming more like a console game. Like the old Diablo 2, you could play that shit and you're addicted forever. I don't know what the difference is, but in this version, I feel like it plays more like a console. Because it's like, it's going to do well for a while, then you move on to something else.
Well, I think the difference with Diablo 2 is that it was more focused. Like, there wasn't... I mean, was there ladders in Diablo 2? Was there seasons?
There was ladders in Diablo 2, but the difference is it was based on leveling. And the thing was, there was no exploits to leveling. Like, you actually had to kill Baal over and over again, or you had to go kill stuff to level up. And that was in a group effect. There was no exploit that gives you 8 billion thousand experience. And plus, the gear was so diverse. When you got a piece of gear, it can be used by multiple classes. Because remember, the gear didn't have stats on it. You put stats into yourself, and the gear just had more things that were more increased mana, increased damage, which was nice. So then you could wear different sets and use them.
So that's what I mean. Like, remember I said, going back to this for the third week in a row, talking about when you have one set of armor that works. So when you make the armor have the stats,
right,
that's what's going to happen. So, I mean, I think that's why, is because there was just more versatility.
Yeah. I'm kind of starting to see the ramifications of having stats on items. Because if you could actually put the stats on yourself, I could use a Wizard's Tal Rasha. I could use some other stuff. Maybe change like the barbarian one. You know they have the I forgot the Mortal King set where it makes it so that your Spirit of the Ancients or whatever, they last forever or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That would have been cool if they would have made it so that all your pets last forever. So it still works for the barbarian, but if a witch doctor wants to wear that barbarian gear, it carries over. It doesn't matter about the strength because you're putting your own stats into it. Then it's like, oh, okay, I can use this too. And then you could open up drop variety and stuff like that, and people can try different combinations and stuff. That would have been pretty cool.
The reason I think Diablo 2 died was they implemented their update too late. Like, I played that game forever, and then after I was done playing...
Like, what update for what? You mean 2.1?
Well, remember how, like, I went the Fury route, using 2 weapons, attacking fast? Well, if you put a rank in here, it boosted Fury.
Right.
Well, when I was playing, it didn't do that. You couldn't redo your stats. Once you put something in, you're done.
Oh, okay.
You know, if you used that scroll in the Act 5 that gives you plus whatever to your permanent stat... You're done. You cannot, like, change that. But then they went back and they went, oh, well, now you can socket things. You can make things socketable. Because before, you had to find it. So, kind of like with the Enchantress here. Not the Enchantress. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, the Mystic.
The Mystic, yeah.
I like the Mystic. The Mystic's pretty interesting. But like I just said, it's just if that actually is a good idea... Yeah. But, like, in terms of everything that's going on, well, we're up to, like, 4,000 views, but it's, like, a lot of people streaming Diablo. It's not... I think it's just going to keep doing this way. I hope things improve. I think I'm actually start looking into Path of Exile, and I want to start looking into that market. My market, I'm not talking like shit's business, but, like, I'm looking right now. Diablo 3 is at... Well, it's not too bad. 3,500, but compared to what it used to be on a Friday, patch 2.1 or PTR, this shit was popping like 10,000. And to lose that many is crazy. Now let me go ahead and look at Path of Exile. Where's Path? Path of Exile is at 1,200. There's 69 live channels. And then
so Diablo is it on 3, the rise?
Diablo 3 has...
3,000.
Diablo 3 has 56 channels at 3,500 viewers. Path of Exile has 69. And it has 1,000 viewers. So if you look at that, it looks like it's pretty proportional.
Is Path of Exile going up, or is it...
Well, here's the thing about Path of Exile. It's a free-to-play game. It's crafted well for a free-to-play game. They actually have a trade system, and they have hardcore. And when your character dies in hardcore, it becomes a softcore character. And they do like little ladder competitions every day. Hey, we're gonna do a 3-hour ladder competition. Go! Start with level 1 characters. Everybody just goes. Whoever can win in 3 hours. So you can do different things like that. Or week challenge. See how you do for a week. So they got cool things like that. And you know, I mean, the serious ladder for that game is hardcore, where you don't die and you level up. And then of course you got the other ones. But for the most part, considering, I just figured for a Blizzard game it'd be a lot higher. But then again, even like Heroes of the Storm is not doing too well. That doesn't even show up. It's like less than 100 viewers.
It's not even on my list of games.
Yeah. So.
In the Blizzard catalog thing.
So, I mean...
I actually forgot it existed till just now.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I know the Diablo viewers will always pick up when their new season comes out, but until there's new content, I think it's just going to be like that for a while, and there's really not much we can do about it. I think 3,000 to 5,000 is probably... 5,000 is really good, but I mean, realistically, I think it's just going to go back to 3. I don't know. If they don't release it, if the next season doesn't end until December, then I think it's just going to drop down to... I don't know. I think it will drop down to about 1,500. It'll stay. It won't drop below 1,000. I know that. But
so, have they talked anything about a next expansion?
We gotta wait for BlizzCon to see what's gonna happen with that. When the next one comes up, we'll see what's going on with that, and then hopefully they announce a new expansion or something. But we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, other than that, that's pretty much all that's going on in the world of Diablo. We'll see if any more exploits or crazy juicy tidbits or people raging about something comes out next week. But I mean, the typical complaints... Oh, I can look at the Diablo 3 form real quick. I got it pulled up here. There is a problem with the double Unity combo and arcane damage seeming to go through it, but they're going to look into that. That's not really big news.
That's why you just wear my patented necklace.
Let me see. the Bane of the Trap is not working on the monks properly. Crickets. Oscar communication this week. Somebody's been complaining that people are not talking enough, but I mean most of it's just cesspool. And Greater Rift complaints because the mob density and it being too random. And outside of that, man, everything else looks. I mean, people are posting good ideas for different things, but there really isn't anything really worthy of discussion, worthy to bring up on the show. It's just basic stuff, man.
What if they changed the way the Greater Rifts worked? What if they made it like they took away teams, or if it's like you said, if it's teams, you need the teams token,
right?
I mean, what if you did it in that respect where if you're in teams, you have to stay in a team, even if somebody like turns off their computer.
I think
you would still level up as a team.
I think that would be pretty cool if they did something like that. But then a lot of people will complain, and I think the majority
would complain of what?
Just why can't we go to team and bring it to solo? It would just make things real confusing. I got to make another season character just to play solo, and why can't I please my solo character to play?
No. You have your solo token and your team token.
Oh yeah, that's actually a good idea.
That what if they change the Greater Rifts to, instead of it's a random map with a random bunch of monsters, what if they made it more like your trial token?
That's true. One thing I would say as well too, what they could do is that they have something that measures, have it be random in terms of density or non-density, but have something inside the code that says when the number of monsters at this rate or something like that, when there's a certain amount of number count on this map, we need to boost how much each of those kills. So yeah, I have less monsters. Let's say if I get a Rift level that only has 50 monsters. Those 50 monsters will give me the same as if I had 100 monsters. Or do something along those lines. I don't know if it's just that easy. They said that they do want RNG inside the Greater Rifts because it increases replayability, which I do agree. However, they have admitted and said they're working on it because they realize Greater Rifts are way too random right now in terms of the mobs, and then also they're going to be taking out the common pylons and shit.
At the risk of being lynched, what if they were to do something like a hallway, where you would literally go forward, and you would walk or run or whatever you do, and when you came to a certain point, a mob would appear and you'd fight them off. You'd go more, fight them off. Maybe you'd have a split path. Once you go down a path, you can't change. So you go left and it's all, shit, I went the wrong way. These are the wrong types. So then you come to another fork in the road.
Somebody's made a whole discussion about this and made pictures and everything, something like that, where you choose your path. That's actually a real smart idea.
Yeah, I mean, if they're really having problems, instead of going, well, we can't use these mobs because they run away, the ghosts that just, they literally you will hit them and they'll go, ooh, and just fucking disappear. Where the hell did it go? I mean, I'm sure if you created a hallway where you could go left, right, run down a hall, and you go, okay, you've turned the wrong way. Would you like to start back at the beginning of the rift, which is die, go back, 1, or, keep going, but lose 10 seconds?
That's true.
You could have different, outcomes. What's going on here? What's going on here? You have a negative. What if you have a positive? Would you like to immediately go to the next rift? Would you immediately like to add or subtract 30 seconds from your time? Would you like a mob right now? You could do a bunch of things. If they're really hard up on how to fix the Greater Rifts, why don't you change what the Greater Rifts is? Hell, you could even do a beta of it. The new beta for the Rifts. Tell us what you think. Wouldn't be that hard. Import your current season, or I think that'd be nice. You would get new content because it wouldn't just be a gray featureless room. You wouldn't be walking down the shadows. So you would get a new area. You could have some lore behind it. They could do a super boss that once somebody kills, the Greater Rift changes over. So once somebody gets to level 60 and kills the Uber boss, you have destroyed the Greater Rifts, and the Greater Rifts point 2 that Tyrael created has opened,
That's pretty cool.
You could do.
Then everybody would be working together just to unlock it or beat it.
Exactly. You know, because they used to do that type of stuff with old MMOs, like the Star Wars old MMOs.
It would trigger shit.
Yeah, like you would literally, if once you killed Darth Vader, I don't remember which MMO this was. Once you killed Darth Vader, the whole of the game changed because Darth Vader is now dead. Now you have to go and do what else? And now Emperor whoever. There's a lot they could do it, and it wouldn't have to affect anything but the greater
That reminded
rifts.
me, like in Sword Art Online, they had an interesting thing in one part of Sword Art Online. There in the game that they were playing, it was all the different races. They're all considered fairies, but they were like different races. Some had dark fairies.
They're different factions of the fairies.
Exactly, and
all pick the emo. And
all of them could fly, but only for a certain amount of time. And there was this tree with a dungeon at the bottom where you climb over to the tree top, and if you actually get to the top, you receive the gift of the creator. And then it makes your personal faction.
It makes your faction like the highest faction.
Well, that and then they can fly. Then it unlocks in the game. Now you can fly endlessly. You don't have to ever stop flying. The problem is, in order, only one race will get that perk.
Right.
And then the thing is, in order to beat the tower, you would need the help of all the different races.
Yeah.
And why would the races want to all come together and boost one race to get the benefit when we're going to be fucked up?
Exactly. Well, if you're smart, you just create a new character under the new race and go.
Let's help the next one and stuff like that.
Well, because the purpose of season 2 of Sword Art Online was that people were enjoying the idea of flying. That's why they played the fairy version. So just have the Fae or whatever get to the top, create a new character in the Fae, and you can fly.
That would be pretty interesting, though, if they did have something where the more the players play in something type of a greater rift or something like that, it accumulates to a group thing, and then when we all unlock it, and then we all get access to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
That actually would be pretty cool. It would keep people playing because it's like, dude, we gotta unlock this next dungeon. And we get, every time we unlock, like, every time you beat a greater rift at a 30 or higher, it adds to a pool, and that pool adds up. Once you hit it unlocks, that would be a real good idea.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things they could do to keep Diablo going. There is a lot of things that you could do, just brainstorming. But coming from a business point of view, would they? And I don't think so, because every time they develop a new dungeon, that's money wasted, because they're not gaining more people.
And they're not making any type of microtransactions to make profits.
Yeah, because they got rid of it for some fucking reason. So they're not making any money on any of these updates.
No, they're not.
So I don't really know why they would.
Well, with that then, I think that concludes a good discussion with this episode.
I have to open my chest.
Oh, that's right.
And identify my boots that I know suck. Because they're firewalking. It's on the right. It's on the right. It's on the right. Go back. There you go. Yay! Nothing!
If you do it on C6, it's 100%. I haven't ever found a use for firewalkers. They should, like, really ramp up the damage. And those are terrible firewalkers, by the way. Terrible. Anyways, guys, we'll see you next week. Thank you for stopping by from Diablo 3 from Casual Point of View. Episode number, I think it's 23 or 22.
23.
Okay, fantastic.
23.
Any words of wisdom you'd like to impart on the people, Nate Dogg?
Watch Dragon Ball Z Abridged. It's funny as hell. You still need to watch it.
I haven't watched it because I have bad memories of Dragon Ball Z. Because they kept doing like 3 hours later. Summer later. Now we shall fight. And they get ready to fight. You're like, yeah, they're about to fight. Come back after this summer. Dragon Ball Z will be continuing. You come back fall for school. And you're just like, fuck this
on the
shit.
next episode, and then tomorrow it's like they started the fucking season over. God damn it!
It's a fucking
It's
that's what they would do. They would start the season over in the summer, then it would line right back up when school started. That's what they did for the fucking Frieza saga, and I was hella pissed.
No, but seriously, they have all the way up to they're just starting Cell Saga. So you seriously have 4 seasons that you can watch of abridged, and I think it's 3 movies. Yeah, it's pretty good.
They're about to fight. Goku starts a Spirit Bomb, GG, pretty much, because the fucking Spirit Bomb takes the whole episode. But anyways, we'll see you guys next week. Have a good day. We're out.
Dragon Ball Z Bridge, bitch.